Could you believe you could have squatted excess of 900 or 1,000 pounds, deadlift maybe 900 or 1,000 pounds? Have those thoughts ever gone through your mind like, man, if I'd have never had these injuries, I only imagine just how strong I could have been?
Yep, every single day. I still regret not deadlifting that 800 more than 2 reps because at the time I knew I had already deadlifted it anyway, but squatting it, I was like, if I could only just get 2 reps like I did on deadlift, I'll be set.
Right.
But I got to it, and those 2 reps were a lot lighter than I thought. And I was like, man, I could have did it at least 4 more reps with that 800. It was just that light. So I'm like, I'm not going to tempt fate again. I'm getting ready for the Mr. Olympia. I don't want to blow out another disc.
Correct.
So I know what I'll do. I'll just load up the leg press and try to make up for it. So we went to the leg press. I loaded it up with 2,300 pounds.
Right. Well, you couldn't put any more weight on it, Ronnie.
Couldn't put no more weight on it. That's what I mean when I say we loaded it up.
Yeah. Y'all might have had every 45 that was in the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all had it on the leg press.
Pretty much. But Brian keep quite a few of those laying around. But I did do that for 9 reps and sort of made up for it. But, you know,
right.
It ain't 800 on the squat.
Correct. But you also were a power. You started out as a power lifter.
Yeah, I started powerlifting in high school.
Okay.
And we would go from state to state doing powerlifting meets, and I did okay. Mm-hmm. Nothing spectacular. I did that for like 2 years, and then our powerlifting team kind of folded, so I did it like my sophomore year, my junior year. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I did pretty good. When I came out to Dallas, I entered some more, like, it wasn't a full powerlifting meet. It was something like a deadlift meet.
Okay.
And I did a lot of those in which I deadlifted probably like 750. Mm-hmm. But the highest I got. But
what weight class you were in? 220s? What weight class were you in? The 220s?
I started out in 181.
181? What?
Yeah, in high school, remember? Yeah. And then I went to 198.
Okay.
And I think my senior year I weighed 185.
Okay.
In high school.
Right.
I didn't get to the 200 till I got to college.
Till you got to college, okay.
Yeah, I think I went all the way up to like 225, somewhere in there, playing middle linebacker.
Right. So did you lift a lot in college? I mean, what was your weight program like in college?
We didn't have one. We didn't have one.
You didn't have one?
No, none existed. If you wanted to lift weight, they had a small weight room about the size of this room here.
Okay.
That you go, if you got up at like 6 in the morning, they keep it over from 6 to 7 for 1 hour.
Okay.
But it was voluntary.
Right.
But as far as mandated or required weight training, none at all.
Was weightlifting always one of your passions?
Oh yeah. My passion started with that when I was about 12 years old.
Okay.
When I was about 10, 11, everywhere I went, people always asked me if I worked out. And I'm like, no. Well, I finally got tired of saying no. I want to say yeah. You know.
Right.
So I picked up, I had my mom buy me a 110-pound weight set from Walmart. And I started working out in the backyard, you know. And
the plastic ones, huh?
The plastic ones, yeah. You remember those?
Yeah, I do.
And right around 12, you know, I kind of fell in love with it. And it just took off from there. And like I said, I joined the powerlifting team like in, I think I was 14 when we started that powerlifting team. Mm-hmm. So that was like a couple of years later. Right. And that's when I really got into it.
Right.
But I got that passion from early age, you know, lifting in my backyard with my friends. We all had mostly curl stuff, you know. We just curl and do some overhead presses, but nothing serious, right. You know, just having fun. And that's where my passion came from, lifting in the backyard.
And now all of a sudden you can start to see your body starting to transform. You start to see you get muscle definition. You start to get peaks on the biceps.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden you're like, okay.
Yeah, this is looking good.
You were hooked. From that point on,
I was hooked from that point on, yep.
You said you hurt your back in high school. You hurt your neck in high school.
Yep.
But did you think it? I mean, from 2017, you had like 12, 13 surgeries. Your back had everything fused. I think you got maybe one of your own vertebrae in your back, your hips.
Yep.
Did you think it was going to get this bad, Ronnie?
Never in a million years did I think it would get this bad. I've had 13 surgeries, like you said. I've had 8 back surgeries, 3 neck, 2 hip, and I'm still hanging there.
Yeah.
I'm still working out 6 days a week, and I still got that passion.
I read where you said internally everything's fine. I feel internally all my organs are functioning properly. My kidneys are doing, my liver's doing what it's supposed to do.
Everything's going good.
My heart, everything.
Everything.
It's just at my back and my hips, my knees.
Balance is pretty much gone for the most part.
Do you look back and like, man, you don't think squatting Ronnie, I mean, think about how much weight.
That's a lot of weight.
Over the course of your career that you've lifted.
47 years.
Yes.
Is what I got.
You done lifted millions of pounds. Not thousands, millions of pounds.
Millions of pounds. And, that takes a toll on the body.
Yes.
Eventually, it's going to catch up with you. And that's what happened to me in 2007. All that banging and heavy lifting finally caught up with me, and it was time to go.
Do you ever look back, you're home with your beautiful family, sitting in bed like, damn, was it all worth it?
Never. To this day, I said if I had to do over again, the only thing I would do is squat that 800.
Man, that 800 still bothers you.
That 800 still bothers me after all this time. I'm like, man, I blew it. I blew my opportunity to squat 800 for 6 reps.
You remember that?
I remember like it was yesterday. I remember putting it up. I'm like, why did I put this up? I had at least 4 more reps in me. If you go back and listen to the tape, you'll hear me say, oh man, that was light. I should have did more reps.
Did you think about, because I remember the same thing, I thought the same thing. I remember I was working out in Rose's gym, and I went up to the 170-pound dumbbells. And other than you, I'm the only one that's ever moved those.
Yeah.
So I did 5 reps with it. And I was like, Rose said, dog, you can do the 180s. Only Ronnie Coleman has ever done those 180s. And I remember saying to myself, dog, I get them next week. Because I had already did the 140, the 150, 160, 170. I say, I'm a little tired. I said, I'll get it next week. Next week never came.
Yep.
And that's my only regret of the weight room is that I didn't at least attempt the 180s because you were the only one that's ever moved them.
Yep. That wasn't nothing for me back in the day. That was lightweight.
Because you was moving them like they were hundreds.
Yeah, I did 200s for 12 reps,
Right.
So 180s ain't nothing.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because we like to do something before 2 something.